virgin-born Mary knew it. And then, we don't hear from him until he's 30, which really bothers me. There's a lot of dead years there. I want to know what happened. Wouldn't you love to know what happened? I mean, wouldn't you love to know what kind of teenager he was? I mean, who was his favorite teacher? What was his favorite subject in school? What was his least favorite subject in school? What kind of music did he like? Did his mother ever make him get a haircut? Did his mother ever tell him to shut the door? We're not trying to air condition all of Jerusalem. Did his mother ever walk into his room and say, clean up this mess? Were you born in a barn? We don't know because nobody wrote it down. God's in the house. Somebody needs to keep a journal. What kind of kid was he? Did he have a girlfriend? What was he like? Did he ever perform miracles around the house? And if he didn't, how did she know he could? Because the next time we see him, he's 30. 30 years old! You know, that was old back then, y'all. They didn't have medicine like we do. Now we have medicine. People don't know when to die. Some of y'all need to lay down. 30 years old. All of his friends, some of his friends were probably having grandchildren by now. 30, and he was still living at home. He knew he was the Messiah. Mary knew he was the Messiah, and she was ready for him to go Messiah. She walked up to him at a marriage party. You know the story, don't you? He's 30 years old. She walks up and said, they've run out of wine. I know she didn't like that. You know how I know? Because his response to her was, woman, read it for yourself. You know, if you're going to call your mom a woman, you better be God. But he said, woman, what have I to do with thee? What am I going to do with you, woman? It's not my time. Quit pushing me, is what he was saying. Because he wouldn't budge till the Father said go. He would not budge till the Father. He hadn't performed one miracle. When the Father said about him, this is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased. He had not performed one miracle yet when the Father said that about him, because the Father was pleased with him that he wouldn't move until the Father said, go. And so he was 30, he went home, he got everybody's nerves, because he wasn't married. And she says to the servants, okay, what did he tell you? His first miracle, I love this part. That's the reason I know God loves the party. He loves a good party. He does. Don't kid yourself. His first miracle was just to keep the party going. Yes, he turned water into wine. Southern Baptists turned it into grape juice. Then he started doing those really cool miracles, giving sight to the blind, legs to the lame, new mind to the demon possessed. Couldn't pass a funeral without breaking it up. The greatest preacher who ever lived never preached a funeral. He raised the dead. When the dead sit up, the funeral is over. You all go home. You don't drop dead first. Don't be raising no dead people in my Baptist church. You'll have to raise us all. Because we would drop dead is what I meant. Mary. I love the story of her. And that's the reason I'm going to do a Christmas song for you now.